Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this is a very important video for all of those who are planning a career in your uh, related to data. You are confused which tool to choose, what are the different tools available in each of the part of the data side life cycle. We are going to discuss that in this video. Let us get started without wasting much time. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So see guys, be if you are a fresher or experienced, we want to have all that skills that are needed to have a long career, to have a better career, to have a career with paying packages. So for that, first thing is we need to understand what are the different you know stages of a data, and what are the different tools available in each of these stages. Basing on your interest, you can decide, which tool you want to choose, and what would be that sector, where which part of the data you want to go. So let us start from the very beginning of a data. Now we are talking about data and all. So first part of a data is data generation. Okay, or how this data is getting generated and all. First we need to understand that. Second part, or the second step in any data, is data storage. So once the data is generated, we need to store that data somewhere. So that is second part of a data. Third part is your data processing. So once the data is generated, we need some tools which can analyze or process this data. So this is the third stage of a data, or any data that we have. The fourth is data analysis. Now once data is generated, data is stored, what do we want to do? We want to analyze the data if there are, if there is any informative or information that is available in that. So next part is again data usage. How are we going to use that data, from business perspective, or anything you can for decision making. And also I'm trying to write data consumption, not computation. Okay, consumption. Next would be data sharing. Okay, so these are the stages that we save. So now once the data is analyzed, stored, processed, and all of that is done, which means all the usage is done, we need to again use data archiving methods. Okay, so we all the used data, we want to move it somewhere so that we are not actively referring to that. That is your data archiving. So if you don't need that also, your last part would be data deletion. Okay, these are the stages of how a data is generated, captured, and deleted or analyzed. Now let us analyze what are the different tools that we have in each of this. Now when I say data generation, okay, so when I say data generation, so how is data generated from your web apps? We can use web apps. So what are the web apps available? We can use, like, say, Google Forms. So this is one form of data generation. We have type form. All of this are used to generate this, or survey monkey. If you have seen, after attending any sessions, we mostly get some surveys to fill in that form. So once you do that, what is happening, that it is generating some data. So that is through web apps. Okay, or we can use, maybe we have something related to IoT. We can use, like, say, some APIs we can use to get the data. Okay, or we can use logs, or uh, so when I say API is again one type. Okay, in this we have, like, say, Postman, we have Swagger, we have REST API clients. So this helps us in generating data. Now in this, so this is first part of a data. So from here we are generating the data. Next is we need to store whatever the data is generated here. Now where can I store the data? Again, we have databases. Okay, databases. So again, you can choose what are the different databases you want. Like say we have MySQL, we have, you can use Postgre, we have MongoDB, and all of these are databases that we can use to store the database. Or we have data warehouse. Okay, we have data warehouses. So we have Snowflake, we have Amazon, you know Redshift, we have Google BigQuery. Okay, so you can focus on this skill set to acquire, if at all, you want to have your journey around this. We have data lakes. What are data lakes? Again, we have, AWS S3 we have, which is a data, and Azure data lake we have Hadoop, HD. Okay, so we learned about data generation. We learned how this data is getting generated. Maybe first part, this generation part we can ignore, because after this is generated, that is where a technical guy will come into picture to store that data, to process that data, to fire that data, or to query that data and all. How, if you have a database, maybe you can acquire one skill from this. Like if you feel, okay, MySQL is something that I want to focus, or MongoDB is something that I want to focus, or maybe AWS S3 or Snowflake. So your one skill will come in this, right? Now once this data storage is done, right? So your client or business has decided what they want to choose, and your data is ready here. Now we want to process this data so that we can analyze something out of that. So how can we process the data? Again we have different tools here. We have ETL tools to process the data. So when I say ETL tools, what are the ETL tools we can use? We have Informatica that can process large volume of data. We have Talent, again that can help us in processing the data. We have Apache, that can help us in processing the data. We have again some different things in data engineering part that we can use, that is Apache Spark, or Airflow. And also you, these days you are also seeing openings on Airflow also. ETL tools, Informatica, Talent, you will always find opportunities related to this. You will always find opportunities related to your databases. Like say a developer, Snowflake developer we need, or something like this. So focus on few tools from this, add something in your skill set in this, and then again some skill set in this. Try to learn Informatica, Talent, or whatever the tool that you feel convenient or you have interest in. Okay, and then in data processing we also have some cloud platforms that we can leverage. Okay, like say we have AWS Glue. Okay, we have Azure Data Factory that can help us in data uh, processing. We have Google data flow, right? So we can use whatever we want. Okay, so these are the important things in the data processing. Okay, so acquire few from this. Like say I will learn MySQL, I learn Snowflake from here, and maybe because I want to have an exposure in AWS also, I'll just try to learn about AWS S3. So I got three from here, right? Because these are important. Again here, maybe because this is a major tool, maybe we can have Informatica or Talent, whatever I choose from here, and then you can add one or two here from here. Okay, so one or two tools from here. Maybe I'll add Informatica or Talent from here, and maybe I'll use cloud platform, because cloud is very trending these days and it is here to stay. Maybe if at all here you are focusing on AWS, so here you can focus on AWS Glue, because it keeps you with respect to AWS. So if you are choosing Azure Data Lake, you can choose Azure Data Factory, because again that keeps you with Azure format. Okay, so try to choose in that way. Now, fourth part is the data analysis part. So how can we analyze data again? Okay, so we can use some languages that are available. Okay, so like say we can use SQL to analyze our data, or we can use Python also to Python, which is very trending. We can use, we can in Python also pandas, NumPy. All this helps us in analyzing the data, or we can use R language, which is a statistical tool to analyze the data. Or we can use, we have Jupyter, we have, Zeppelin, we have Google Colab. So this we can use from this, and then from data exploration part, we can use Excel. Okay. So these are the things that we need from data analysis perspective. So remember here in the data storage perspective, we have thought of learning Snowflake or MySQL and also keeping in that mind, this is something that you can focus. So here SQL will become your something that to keep in mind. Maybe from here I will choose again one or two. So mostly I'll choose a SQL, and rest I'll keep it as an optional. And again, this Excel will become mandatory. So two skills again from this level. So every level you are adding one skill, right? So data storage we have added three. Data processing we added two. Data analysis we added two. So next is the data usage or consumption layer. If at all I wanted to, how are we using the data that we have generated, we have stored, we have processed that data, to get some information. We have analyzed the data. Now we want to use the data. How can we use? Okay, so we can use using BI tools that are available in market. Like say we have Tableau and Power BI, or maybe any BI tools you take. Okay, we have ClickSense, all of that we can use to use the data and create some visualization. On top of that, we can use some reporting tools again. Okay, we can use AI ML tools. Okay, like say we have Data IQ, right? So we have Azure ML. So this type of tools we can use. So maybe I will choose this BI tools here. Maybe again in this I will add one tool or one or two. Okay, so Tableau and Power BI, because sometimes we have many opportunities for Tableau, sometimes we have opportunities for Power BI. So it is safe to have multiple skills here. Languages, your SQL is mandatory, Excel is mandatory. Rest whatever you are adding is an additional. In ETL, again, Informatica is one very popular tool. Talent is something that has come, latestly. Okay, you can add latest in the sense it is also available from 5 years. You can use that also. Okay, and then AIML is something that is new. The keyword of 2024 or 25 AI and ML. You can add some skill sets from that to have a better portfolio created for you. Now, next is the data sharing. Okay, we spoke about data usage. Next is the data sharing. Okay, so we can use REST APIs or cloud platforms, or f- like say I will use APIs for data sharing. Like say REST APIs. We have cloud platforms. Okay, so like say Snowflake, data sharing. We have Azure, Synapse. Okay, or we can use file formats to share the data. So we can use CSV, we can use JSON, we can use Avro, whatever we feel is good. We can use that for different file formats for data sharing purpose. So this is your data sharing. Next is once all of the data part is done, you have analyzed and all data sharing is done. Maybe after a time we feel we don't need that data. So again from that we can either use archiving to move it to a different location, like say, and then we can use data deletion to delete the data. So if at all I want to archive means like your storage where you don't use that frequently. So again storage part is coming here. Maybe AWS Glacier I'll use to archive my data, or Azure archive storage I can use. So again, here, if at all you are focusing on AWS, maybe here you can use this, and here you can use this. That will help you in creating your better profile. Okay. So next is, backup tools we can use that are available. Okay. So we can use VM and, Palm Vault. This we can use. Okay. And next is a data deletion. So how we can use data deletion? We can use, scripting language to delete, to have a secure delete, or we can use some compliance, tools that are available in the market, like say, data governance tools. If at all I want to use, I can use, Collabora or Elation, or compliance tool. If at all I want to use, I can use OneTrust, or scripting language. If at all I want to use, I can use Python or shell scripting to delete the data. So these are the different stages of a data and different stages where you might find interest for yourself. Okay. So if at all I want to be a data engineer, or I want to be a scientist, it is compulsory that you have one skill from each of the data lifecycle. I want to have some skill from data storage. I want to have some skills from the data processing. I want some skills at the data analysis level, sharing and archiving and deletion. This is what will make you a data scientist, because we should be aware of how of the entire life cycle from generation to deletion. Now, these are also the different career aspects. Okay, so there are people who only work on ETL tools. There are developers who only work on this. There are only people who work only on data usage or consumption layer. Okay, now it is your interest where or how you want to go. Okay, so this is just an explanatory video or exposing video that will help you in understanding which part of the data you like. See, I myself personally like in data processing part, and I myself find in this part I have my own interest, so I try to accumulate or learn more about this. Okay, always. So that is how you choose yourself where your interest is, and choose your career accordingly. I hope this video has given you an information on how to choose the tools. If it does, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye and have a good day.